Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents The B Words, 13 Words Every Woman Must Navigate for Success, by Tricia Kagerer. Narrated by Rachel Perry. Introduction. We are living in extremely challenging times in which both change and news are constant. The 24-hour news cycle reveals unimaginable stories about successful, high-profile women enduring humiliating and degrading experiences for years. Although the industries have varied from news anchors, actors, and advertisers to farm workers and gymnasts, the stories are similar. Men, often intelligent, talented, and famous men like Matt Lauer or Harvey Weinstein, take advantage of women in a quid pro quo power play. The #MeToo movement has uncovered stories of abuse of power, sex scandals, and inequality. Social media provides the lens to focus on the desperate need for change. Where #MeToo pulled the cover back on the abuse, disparity, and power plays in the working world today, #TimesUp attempted to do something about it by creating dialogue, tools, outreach, and resources. I am currently an executive vice president of risk management for a general contractor in Texas. Having worked in the construction industry, a man's world, for more than 20 years, I have experienced my fair share of crazy antics, biases, and comments that have left me scratching my head, wondering how I got into the industry in the first place. I have been able to create a successful career, negotiate a flexible schedule before such a thing became popular, and stay married for more than 24 years, with both of us working, traveling, and climbing the corporate ladder. It was not easy. It was stressful and exhilarating all at the same time. I am now at a place in my career where it is time to give back. If there is a glimpse of knowledge, encouragement, or favor that I can give to another woman who may face some of the challenges that I have, I hope to address it in this little book of bees. This book follows the trajectory of a woman's life and career by identifying key B words that can propel her forward in creating the life she wants on her own terms. These words are challenges, focused on helping you identify both what within yourself might be holding you back and external challenges, as well as strategies and best practices to help you plan your life. Be they internal or external, these challenges can blow women off course like grenades due to outdated limiting beliefs and biases that still permeate our minds and the workplace culture of today. Identifying and exploring how to handle these real-life challenges can help you successfully navigate the minefields. We also explore living in your truth in order to form bonds with other women, to embrace your inner badass, and to engage men as partners to build bridges. Your ability to make necessary changes along your journey to lay the groundwork for future women leaders will allow you to earn the key ingredient of self-defined success, the bravery badge. The information and stories that I have collected for this book include both secondary sources and primary sources in the form of anonymous personal interviews. The names have been changed, except where noted to protect the privacy of these individuals. Each chapter provides stories and sage advice, followed by breakthrough strategies on how to best handle unique challenges at various stages in a woman's life that impact her personal and career choices along the way. Whether you're just starting out in a new career opportunity, making the decision to have a family, or considering staying in or returning to the workforce, each stage brings opportunities to achieve self-defined success. Self-defined success is a simple concept based on helping you to recognize, sustain, and intentionally design your life in your own way and on your own terms for the benefit of yourself and others. Beliefs. What are the limiting beliefs lurking in your own mind that are holding you back? Limiting beliefs can change the course of your career, your family, and the quality of your life. Only you have the power to change them. Together, we explore the concepts of inhibition and prohibition. I provide tools to identify the limiting beliefs that hold many women back, and discuss how to change a limiting belief into an empowering one that can break long-standing negative patterns that keep you from achieving self-defined success. Balance. A mythical state that women set as a goal to achieve. It is like a gold standard. If a woman could balance family, personal, and professional obligations, then she would achieve nirvana. The problem is that life cannot be balanced. In this chapter, I explore why women need to reset the goal of balance to find peace. I challenge you to build a firm foundation by focusing on both your brain and your body, which will keep you upright. Babes. What is it like to enter the workplace as a young female? How can you prepare for and deal with unique situations? What should you do when your boss comes on to you? How can you develop a professional image? I provide best practices and advice from women who have been there on how to navigate sticky situations with grace and class. Babies. There comes a time in a woman's life to explore whether or not to get married, move in with a partner, or have children. Work is a gigantic influence on these life decisions, all of which can change, delay, and influence career choices. I focus on stories of real women who have made these decisions for themselves and illustrate how to create your authentic life above the noise of other people's views and opinions. Budgets. All women must manage their personal finances and speak the language of money at home and at work. Historically, society has conditioned women to believe that money decisions were out of their hands, leaving many ill-equipped to negotiate salaries, maintain budgets, and ultimately achieve financial savvy and independence. These are key to achieving self-defined success. I identify limiting beliefs around money that still exist today and provide resources and proven strategies that empower and liberate women both at home and at work. Bankruptcy. A woman's worst fear is being financially bankrupt. Women who never explore who they are and what they want out of life often find themselves emotionally bankrupt. I explore two limiting beliefs: poverty consciousness versus prosperity syndrome. Both extremes deal with money and life choices, stemming from how women view the world. Furthermore, I suggest how to recognize and avoid the pitfalls of both extremes, and provide a list of 4 characteristics of true prosperity. Bias. In the workplace, women are likely to encounter subtle forms of bias, rather than overt discrimination. Unwarranted judgments are more difficult to spot, because they are not obvious. Yet studies show such bias is real and can derail careers. What are the subtle forms of bias, and how can you spot them? I share tools and techniques to identify unconscious prejudices in the workplace and steps that you can take to move toward change. I also explore solutions organizations should implement to identify and prevent unconscious bias in the workplace. Bullies. Bullying starts early in childhood and is alive and well in the workplace. It is real, painful, toxic, and of epidemic proportions. Is bullying behavior a sign of insecurity in both men and women, stemming from envy and power, resulting in fear? Or is it just to be expected in the workplace as a result of the worldview that winning comes at all costs, a take-no-prisoners philosophy at work? I provide recommendations on how to deal with workplace bullies and resources for starting an anti-bullying campaign at your own workplace. I also explore how to identify whether you are a bully, and if so, what you can do to change your behavior. Bitches. Women will be called bitches by both men and other women. This term holds different meanings both generationally and culturally. Sometimes it is good, and sometimes it is obviously meant to be hurtful. I explore various scenarios that lead to being called a bitch and address the inevitable implications of owning your bitch. Bonds. Forging relationships, connecting, and ultimately forming bonds are critical to both personal and career success. Women don't have to go it alone. Women network for different reasons and in different ways than men, and women benefit from recognizing those differences. I identify the purpose of networking and provide tactics and strategies to help women embrace the fine art of intentional networking. Badasses. What is more powerful than a woman who claims her truth and stands in her power? I share the recipe for achieving and ultimately embracing your own badass, knowing and accepting yourself so that you can make your own unique contribution to the world. Bridges. Women and men must work together to build bridges for the future. But how do we move forward, break down barriers to entry, and squash the zero-sum mentality that is widely displayed today? I provide stories of what it is like to be the only woman in the room, and offer examples of the characteristics of the good guys who change the dynamics that historically have held women back. I provide resources and steps that people can take both personally and professionally to finally impact lasting change. Bravery. To live your own authentic life, based on your own definition of success, requires bravery. Many people go through life and never even think about what they want. I explore my own personal example of bravery and how I hope to change my corner of the world. This book is for young women, mid-career women, and women nearing retirement. It is also for any woman who recognizes the need to get men engaged in a conversation to bring more women into every space of the workplace, including the boardroom. My mother always told me to make a difference in my own little corner of the world. I hope this book is in your hands for that very reason, and provides some guidance, awareness, and insight to make your world just a little better today. Chapter 1. Self-defined success. Success is peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming. Coach John Wooden, UCLA basketball coach and expert on leadership. Self. 1. The entire person of an individual. Define. 1. To make distinct, clear, or detailed, especially to discover and set forth the meaning. Success. 1. A favorable or desired outcome or result. Before we begin our journey into the B words, we must explore the concept of self-defined success. I have struggled over the course of my lifetime with self-acceptance and self-worth. My most difficult struggles came from trying to live up to others' expectations and disregarding my own. I figured out that if I didn't know what I wanted my life to look like, then there would always be someone else standing at the ready to mold me into who they thought I should be. Living someone else's definition of success leads to misery. I realized that I was wasting my very own precious time here on Earth. I understood that when I was pleasing family, friends, neighbors, and colleagues, I felt the emptiest, saddest, and loneliest. And as I got older, I realized I was not alone. I chose each B word as a check-in point to give women permission to explore and ultimately claim self-defined success. Each and every woman has a different definition of success. The goal is to live an authentic life that is completely and uniquely your own. That requires sometimes messy emotional journeys that may lead to a path never anticipated. Achieving self-defined success is neither linear nor easy, and not everyone in your sphere of influence, family, friends, and coworkers, will approve or understand. Self-defined success can be defined only by you. It can never be defined in monetary terms, and it will never be achieved by the acceptance of others. You must accept yourself. The only way to achieve self-defined success is to take the time to think about what in this life will bring you joy, satisfaction, and meaning. It requires stepping back and exploring yourself. Without knowing yourself, you can never truly lead yourself. It also changes as you grow older. As a result, self-defined success is fluid and will look different at various stages and milestones in your life. The path to change. For someone who is stuck in a dire situation, or an abusive relationship, or has money issues, an illness, or massive responsibilities, the idea of thinking about joy and meaning in life can feel trite. According to humanistic psychologist Abraham Maslow, we act in order to achieve certain needs. Maslow first introduced his concept of a hierarchy of needs in his 1943 paper, A Dynamic Theory of Human Motivation, and his subsequent book, Motivation and Personality. This hierarchy suggests that people are motivated to fulfill basic needs before moving on to more advanced needs. It is a pyramid in which the lowest levels contain the most basic needs: food, water, sleep, and warmth, while the more complex needs, safety and security, are located on advanced levels. Considering some of the difficult situations that women find themselves in, the idea of thinking about creating a life of joy on your own terms and achieving self-defined success could be a luxury or a curse too painful to consider because the prospect seems too far away. The reality, though, is that until you give yourself permission to consider self-defined success, you may just stay stuck and accept the status quo. Self-defined success can be reached using 8 key strategies. 1. Maintain gratitude. Wherever you are today, whatever your situation, no matter how bleak, wake up in gratitude that you are here on this earth to live another day. 2. Breathe. Take a moment to breathe in the fresh morning air and give thanks for the morning and the day that lies ahead. Starting on a positive note and taking a moment to breathe will change the course of the day for the better, providing strength to move forward in a positive mindset. 3. Explore the possibility. Stop and ask yourself what is important to you and whether the opportunities, pursuits, and challenges in your life line up with what you want your own success to look like. 4. Dream big. Unleash the power of your imagination and create an image of what you would like to strive for in the future. 5. Define your why. Propel yourself forward by clarifying why you want to make a change. 6. Write it down. Draw a picture. Save photos on your phone via Instagram. Create a vision board on Pinterest, or cut up magazines and make a poster board to look at every day. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just needs to serve as a reminder of what is important to you on your journey. 7. Work. No one will ever achieve anything without moving toward a goal. Make a call. Connect with someone who can help. Read an article. Google your dream. Look people in the eye today and connect to see where and how you can explore one minute detail, one tiny step toward your dream. 8. Chart your course. It takes time. Change may seem minuscule. It will also not be in a statistically straight line. You will have good days and bad days. By charting your course, you can check off items and keep track of the tiny changes that lead to progress. You will certainly be in a different place in 6 months than you are today. It may not be where you wanted or expected to be, but you will be in motion, and you will begin to feel something that no one can take away from you. Self-respect. Self-respect for fighting the good fight and living in integrity on your journey to self-defined success. These 8 strategies require you to believe that you have the power to impact and change the circumstances of your life. Your belief system was set a long time ago, when you were a child, and is influenced by your family, culture, community, and experiences. It can be the single most empowering force in life. It can also be a detrimental hurdle that holds you stagnant. Let's tap into what society and your own internal voice have been saying to you and explore strategies for using your belief system on your journey to self-defined success. You don't become what you want. You become what you believe. Oprah. Chapter 2. Beliefs. Beliefs are never neutral. They either propel you forward or hold you back. Marcia Wieder. Belief. 1. A state or habit of mind in which trust or confidence is placed in some person or thing. 2. Something that is accepted, considered to be true, or held as an opinion. 3. Conviction of the truth of some statement, or the reality of some being or phenomenon, especially when based on examination of evidence. Beliefs are the strongest influence that set the course of your life. As you grow toward adulthood, family, friends, religion, and social media continue to influence and ultimately establish your worldview. Once beliefs are formed, they become quite resistant to change. Some of your belief systems protect you and serve you well throughout your life. Because many of us never work to get to know ourselves, the worldviews we inherit from others become a part of who we are and how we make sense of the world. Beliefs are never neutral. They either move you forward or hold you back. Limiting beliefs are those that hold you back or keep you repeating the same patterns in your life over and over. In spite of your innate desire to change, limiting beliefs can create no-win situations in which you go through life carrying around belief baggage. Even if you want to put it down or change, it feels too heavy and you have no idea where to start. But what if there were the slightest possibility that your limiting belief was not true? What if it was holding you back from making changes in your life? limiting beliefs impact both your personal and professional success. Limiting beliefs in personal life. Women tend to latch on to limiting beliefs and absorb them into their souls, creating years of unnecessary havoc and stress on their lives. If you have ever found yourself making the same mistakes over and over, dating the same type of guy and always getting hurt, failing at diets, or starting new projects only to give up after a few days, limiting beliefs may be the culprit. Mary's story. From an early age, Mary was the victim of a dysfunctional family. Mary's parents labeled her the stupid one of her siblings, which led to a cycle of self-abuse and disappointment that she never overcame in her lifetime. At the end of every school semester, Mary became despondent and sick. She never failed to have a stomachache the week before report cards came out. Mary remembers. Report card day was hell on earth. I would collect my report card from my teacher, go home, and present it to my mother, who chastised me and called me stupid. I was then grounded indefinitely from any and all activities until a few weeks would pass and she would forget. I believed with my entire being that I was indeed stupid, and I stoically and pathetically accepted my fate. My best friend sat back and observed this pattern for years. One day she convinced me to do something different. She offered to tutor me. We studied together after school every day. My grades improved, and for the first time, I felt a strange feeling of self-confidence as report card day approached. For the first time, I was not sick to my stomach when the teacher handed me the card, revealing all A's and B's. I rushed home to present my report card to my mother, who responded, "Anyone can get A's and B's when you take the easiest classes at school. An A in tennis is a waste of time." That was the end of that. Mary quit showing up to class and ultimately dropped out of high school. A few years later, she received her GED and went to various colleges here and there, but never graduated. Every time she was close to completing her degree, an illness, money problem, or family emergency delayed the completion. Her life became infinitely more difficult, and she never really recovered from the lies her parents told her, and she believed. Limiting beliefs in business. 2 limiting beliefs stemming from common myths have held women back for centuries and continue to stagnate progress. Myth 1. Women's work. Since the 1950s, women have served in administrative and caregiving jobs. Today, women continue to cluster in the lower-wage job sector, where they have minimal or non-existent institutional support, scant benefits, and reduced opportunities to achieve wealth. Studies show that despite women's academic successes and legal victories, the top job for women in the United States is the same as it was in 1950. Secretary/administrative assistant. It is followed closely by 2 other maternal jobs, teacher and nurse. Women compose the majority of low-service workers and make up more than 90% of paid domestic and healthcare workers in the United States. These jobs are intensely emotionally demanding. Teachers, nurses, and administrative assistants all report a record high rate of burnout, with emotional exhaustion as the primary reason. Women who dare to enter better-paying, historically masculine jobs in fields like science, technology, astronomy, economics, finances, politics, firefighting, military, trucking.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?